Well, our next guest is a great, amazing aerial dancer and cabaret artist. She's been working around the topic of space and decided to push it a little bit beyond the ropes. And she's going to talk today about her experiences in zero-G and her plans in developing her work in this environment. So this is Empress Stah.
Thank you, Nam, and thanks to the Arts Catalyst for inviting me here to speak this evening. As I've been introduced, my name is Empress Stah Power, and I am indeed an aerialist and avant-garde cabaret performer. And this has been my career for 14 years and takes me constantly around the world and hopefully off the planet and into outer space. So I've just today put this presentation together, so I'll apologise in advance that I'm probably going to read off these notes for a lot of it. As Nama said, I'm here tonight to share with you my current and ongoing project called Empress Stah in Space, which has recently culminated in my first experience of weightlessness aboard a parabolic flight with the Zero Gravity Corporation in America just last May. Towards the end of the presentation, I'll be showing some pictures and some video of that trip that were taken on board, but first I would like to give you a little background as to the history of the project, how I have gotten to this point, and where it is heading. So all my life I've been fairly much obsessed with being in the air. You could find me on the monkey bars at school, on the fence at ballet class, on the monkey bars in the gym. And I'm now an aerialist, so it was like finding my calling when I first got on the trapeze. And in the early 90s, I became obsessed with the idea that I maybe was from outer space, but that was probably more to do with the drugs I was taking. And at that point, you know, as a young adult, sort of discovered more about zero gravity and the ideas around that, and had a longing to have this experience, which I didn't really think at the time would ever actually manifest. So it wasn't until 2006 that I was in the library at the Circus Space, which is where I rehearse and train in Hoxton, and I stumbled upon an article. I've no idea where it came from to this day, and that article was about Kitsu Dubois and the Arts Catalyst's work aboard parabolic flights and their exploration of the dancer's body in zero gravity. So keen to find out more about this, I googled the Arts Catalyst website and looking for how, where, when I could take part in one of these crazy flights. And it was there that I found a call to artists from ZGAC, the Zero Gravity Artists Consortium, founded by Frank, I can never remember his last name, Petronico, thank you very much, and Lorelei. Anyway, I met with Frank subsequently in San Francisco in 2008. He was very enthusiastic about my ambition, and he pointed me in the direction of the Arts Catalyst once again, but this time specifically to their event Less Remote, which was taking place as part of the 59th International Astronautical Congress in Glasgow. So I booked my tickets and I flew up there on my own and got to check it all out, and was particularly taken with the space agency's displays of satellites and toilets and all those types of things. I would normally go to events where they're trying to sell performers and entertainment and normal portaloos and toilets, not space contraptions. So that was a lot of fun with the surrounding exhibitions. But what I was very inspired on the whole was the lack of glamour that was around the scene, from the people that were attending the conference to the artists that were presenting work in the conference. And I felt that I might be the lady to fill the gap in the market there. So I set about creating a profile for myself as an artist working at the intersection of arts, culture and humanity in space exploration. one of the first things I did was to create my own constellation. Excuse me while I turn the page. Okay, the picture that's been up here for a while now, this is one of the first publicity shots, if you will, of me in my constellation. And we photoshopped out the rigging that's holding the hoop up to make it look like I am flying through space. And hopefully this works. Yes. Okay, and this is another of the images taken on the same photo shoot. So the constellation does actually exist in reality. It's made of 7 stars that are inflated and illuminated, and they hang on a heptagonal structure which creates a space in the middle in which I can hang my aerial apparatus. So I do an aerial performance and I literally dance amongst my stars. I created a show around this fairly immediately, and here's the flyer for that show. It was a series of neo-burlesque cabaret performances in 2009 at the Brick House. And this performance featured a concept which I'm going to come back to soon in my work, of the Star Whores Corporation, which is in antithesis to Virgin Galactic. And you can see there's a whole load of possibilities of ways to exploit the Star Whores Corporation. So, and at the same time when I had the idea to make this constellation, I was approached by the Spill Festival to take part in their tarot deck project, and I was commissioned to create the star card. So the card and the commission was a really big affirmation that I was on the right path and that I should indeed invest my money in having this thing made. And while I was, and it informed the number of stars in my constellation, which is 7. The star card has 7 stars. And whilst researching the card, I came across one meaning that really resonated with me, and that is that it represents cosmic inspiration of the highest nature that is received and made manifest on the material plane. Often how I feel about this project as it has evolved is that I'm simply saying yes, and taking a risk, taking a chance, and so far, so good. We'll see how far I can push it. Anyway, so having my constellation, I then decided it was time to hit up the Arts Council for some cash. So I applied for a research and development grant, which was successful, and I received £5,000 to, what did I do? Oh, yes, to create a show with the working title Starlight in Starland. The title being partly inspired by the exhibition Walking Inside My Mind, which was on at the Hayward Gallery at the time. The application stated that the piece would take space and evolution as its central theme. It is concerned with what it means to be and the importance of being human in the 21st century. It is a physical and metaphysical exploration of space and everything in between, from outer space to inner space to cyberspace. Master clown Angela De Castro was brought in to direct the piece, which was developed at the Circus Space and the Roundhouse. But the reality was that we actually got caught up mostly in rigging large, inflatable structures using black aerial apparatus to try and disappear it so it looked like I am floating. So the narrative didn't really get developed, but I have some fantastic pictures and great video of it. And this is one of the images, ball meditation, sitting in lotus and balancing on top of a gym ball, core stability. I practiced for a long time to do it, and then once I realised I'd nailed it, I haven't done it again for about a year, so I'm not sure how well I'd go again. And this was one of the favourite things that came out of the R&D, actually, is the existential disco arrow. And the idea is that this arrow would be my co-star, and the arrow's theme tune is I am what I am, and it only ever would converse with me through the medium of disco music. And yeah, I've yet to develop these ideas. I got quite excited about it all, coming back to look at it to get this together. And this is another inflatable structure that I borrowed this time. And the idea for this, the inspiration was the idea that you could dance on the points of the stars. And And I also like this because of the kind of crucifixion image as well. So the idea of, you know, outmoded religious ideas out in the cosmos. Yeah, lots of room to go into that, but I won't right now. And this is a video. This is the video that we made. It's a couple of minutes long, so I'm going to hopefully play it for you. Oh no! Oh no! What have I done? Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong video. How did that happen? It's all going so well. Okay, right, let me just bring up the actual thing here. This one should be... Oh, I've got the sound. Okay, I just decided to change the order of this just before we started, which was probably a bad idea. Oh no! Can you help me? Yay! Which one? Yes. Yeah. Okay. This is it. So we'll just watch this together.
You'll find magnitudes of questions that divide.